Welcome back, Generals, to another Let's Fix Generals 0 Hour to make the best game ever. Good, so what do we have here? We have this guy here that has been approved. Debug Marco. Debug Marco. Some things for debug. Debug. Debug internal.h. Is that so? Internal.h. Oh. Internal.h. There's no such file. Debug Marco. Probably means debug macro. Debug macro. Debug macro. I have no clue what it means. It's here. Namespace debug. No, that's something else. No. I will just merge it. How about that? Okay. Okay. Good. Then we get back to main branch. We pull the latest. Then we go to this one here, and we merge the new main in there. Yeah. And then we check for leftover debugs. Yeah. Debug. RTS chance. RTS. There we go. And we do the same for internal. It's more than I thought there would be. Okay. Profile. That's it. Okay. Okay. Fix debug. Debug internal names. Okay, good. Then we should be able to compile this now. Let's do configure. Okay, generates. compile. Oof. Parentheses can I up to 8 readability here. Good. So let's hope that this compiles now. Yeah. By the way, unsigned, signed, comparison, mismatches, we perhaps should fix with std compare. Unsigned sign comparison, mismatch, warnings. We can in part fix with for VS6 builds. We can create a substitute for it. Okay, that has succeeded. Excellent. Then let's push this guy. Updated branch to latest main. Okay. Let's see. Undef. State machine debug. Probably we should add a debug for this. Editor, notepad. Add CMake option for state machine debug. Bitflex IO. Bitflex IO, yeah. Map helper. What? Okay. Oh, this is different here. Scope mutex. A scope mutex class to easily lock a scope with a pre-existing mutex. But now it has a timeout. Oof. Oh. That's different. Why is that changed? Scope mutex changes timeout scope mutex timeout from infinite to 500 milliseconds for whatever reason. Render to world 2D. Radar point to world point. Name key generator. Name to lowercase, yeah. Name to lower. Money. Energy production. Okay. Write name key. Read name key. Data chunk. Data chunk. Oof. Oof. Uh, um, hmm. Compute CSC. Okay, so, huh? Okay, so this is the original generals version. Which is hard to read because it's deactivated. How about we go to main branch? There we go. Okay, so here, compute CSC. It also had this check here, yeah, okay. And then it's C++, blah, blah, blah. Add CSC. How? Ah, here. High bit. 1, 0. Weil. Well, let's hope that this is correct then. Yeah. Let's take a note for this. Uses optimized assembler, let's say optimized assembler version for CRC class. Or adds. Put on ice until later, says M. Lorenzen. Game get color component with cheat spy. Cheat spy. Blair shouldn't be mutable, but is Sumi. Chris Snork. What? What? The worst comment. It's was kommen jetzt ist Poopy. EA devs defecated general's code. Is defecated the right words? Defecated. Yeah. Poopy. Where was this Poopy? Let me find it. Poopy. Oh, it wasn't here. Somewhere it was. Maybe I misremember. It was Poopy, right? With a Y. Poopy. No? I can't remember. It was something with Poopy. No? I must misremember. Yeah. I probably misremember. Poopy. Ah. Okay. Well, it was something else then. Mutable. Mark UI dirty. Last frame mark dirty. Okay. Copy button text from Blair. Shouldn't be const, but is Sumi. Set flash count is const. How did that happen? How did that happen? Oh boy. Copy button text from. Gadget checkbox toggle. Gadget checkbox. When get enabled. Locomotor set type. Has locomotor for surface. Adds functions. Upgrade pair. Upgrade pair. Type amount. Upgrade pair. It's okay to fire. Adds function. It's okay. Fire to fire weapon update. Make sure buttons with special power templates also have the appropriate options set. Also the appropriate options set. Bit is set, needs template. Let me adds additional debug checks for special power templates. Special power template any setups and yeah. Calculate a hash for lowercase string. Okay. Name to lowercase key. Okay. No idea why these were moved to a CPP. Just a refactor. Pass money amounts. Yeah. Someday, maybe. Have multiple fields like gold, wood, Tiberian. wood. Vomit. I wonder, is this used anywhere? Pass money amounts? Yeah. Start money settings. Money. Adds any adds function to read money value from any file. Get transitions. Oof. Oof. Okay, state machine debug. State machine debug. The state machine debug is not new, right? No. It's just added. Let me say get transitions. Where's this called? Ah, it's for okay. Let me document this as additional state machine debug in okay. Oh man, how much is the translated 2D spot on the radar from 00 to radar cell width, radar cell height to 3D spot in the world does not determine Z value. Well, yeah, that makes sense. Radar to world 2D. Radar to world 3D. To a 3D spot in the world on the terrain. Gets a ground height, I see. Makes sense, yeah. Radar to world 2D. Who's using this? Radar to 2D. What point are we inspecting? I see. Okay. Okay, so what this has added is adds radar to the adds new function. Try infiltration event, not object return, and some refactoring. Okay. Okay. Adds new function. Xfer drawbar. Xfer this. Fair enough. Oof. Think template. The game will crash now. Thanks for the information. Yeah. Make sure that all code in this function supports caching properly. For example, templates can be partially overridden by map.ini files. When this happens, strings that have been passed are looked up, cached, and cleared. The problem is if a string gets cached but not overridden, it will be clear the next time we call this function. So we will want to make sure we don't null out cached data if the string is empty. A concrete example is overriding an object with prerequisites. We just override the portrait. So the first time we call this function, we get the standard template data. During this first call, the strings are looked up, cached, and cleared. Then we override the portrait in the map.ini. The next time we call this function, we look up all the strings again. The prereq names didn't use the check for empty strings, so they would null out all the previous prereqs the object had. To be sure to make sure all strings lookups don't blindly look up things, check if the string is not empty first. I have no idea what I just read. Yeah, whatever. Okay. Color. Put on ice. RTS internal. Put on ice. Color. Adds unused cheats by stuff. How much is left here? Oh, Jesus. Still a bit. Okay, that's easy to review. Much appreciated. Has locomotor for surface. Looks like some stuff is missing here, isn't it? Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's inline function, yeah. RTS, internal, yeah. Pass upgrade pair. Upgrade pair. Okay, and where is this function used? Okay. It's pass upgrade pair function. Is okay to fire. If M weapon return false, ready to fire, return false. Why is this a new? Why is this a new function? Weapon is reloading. A simple check has turned into this big function. Okay, interesting. Yeah. I would have named this fire can fire or ready to fire. Weapon ready to fire. Or just ready. R. Just R. Good. I've seen this before. How often have we seen this already? Yeah, side, yeah. Brutal hack for aircraft carrier debugging. Brutal hack. I've seen this before as well already. Yeah. The brutal hack. So brutal. Yeah. Forward reference should be called forward declaration. Oof. Projected shadow. I think it has been moved. Moved from the CPP. Yeah. 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 It's weird that there's a virtual function crammed down here. Probably should have put it up here. Yeah. Set default line style. The following is an archive of an attempt to foil the map shroud hack. To foil render object list. Let's take a look at this. Render loops through all objects. Min alpha calc hero. Clear all entries from the cached hero object list. Objects with a local only unit priority will only appear on the radar if they are controlled by the local player. The fuck? What is going on here? What? Interesting. It's unused. Function. Create decal shadow. There was no decal shadow in generals? Huh. Hold on. Does this mean that there are no infantry shadows in generals? Let me see. That is very interesting. Let's see. Skirmish. Oh, 100%. No, they do have decal shadows. What is this? What is this? Create decal shadow. Huh? Huh? Okay, where is this used? Projected shadow, tree buffer. Trees. But here they also have decal shadows here. Huh? I don't understand. What's the difference? What did the original do? Load trees, vertex, and index buffer. Let me see. So this is 0 hours. This is generals. Generals. Yeah. Where's the decal shadow here? Decal. Decal. No decal. Let's search for shadow. No shadow. How's this made then? Oh man. It clearly has decal shadow. So what is this? Is this just a reflector or what is this? Shadow TGA. Let me search for this guy. Default decal name. Add shadow. Okay. Create decal shadow. Add shadow. Okay, so there are two. Okay, what's the difference between add shadow and create decal shadow? They both return the same thing. Decal. Shadow type, shadow decal. And here's shadow none. Shadow decal applied via modulate blend. I have no idea what that means. Shadow TGA. Why are there two when they use the same texture? Yeah. Would be interesting to know what the difference is. So it takes less arguments. Maybe it's a more lightweight version of the edge shadow, because it doesn't take the render object or the drawable. It just creates a decal shadow. So hold on, edge shadow. So what does it do with the R object? Not texture name GIF, assume model name. Not texture name GIF. What is this language? What? Draw. Oh great, draw is never used in here. Okay, interesting. Is it used in here? Draw. No. Interesting. Well, that could be removed then. This is draw. Interesting. Yeah, I assume it's just like a more lightweight version to add a decal shadow at a specific location that never changes or something like that. And the other one binds it to an object that can move around. That's my assumption. Yeah. Yeah. Adds new function, perhaps for static position decals, decal shadows. Yeah. Trees. Max groups. Brutal hack, yeah. The following is an archive of a partial attempt at detecting the map shroud hack. Visibility check. Visibility check. Problem is it is all local stuff. It's unused function. Let's say commented function. Commented function. Yeah. Okay, what is this? Set default line style. Okay, it's just moving it into a new function. Fair enough. GUI edit. GUI edit. Create the name key generator. Okay, it has been moved a tiny bit. Okay. Map preview. Okay. Put in a scope. Okay. All right. Get helicopter offsets. Oh. Making progress here. Pass single bit from ini. Data chunk. Source common system. Adds new functions. Write name key, read name key to this here class. System geometry. It's new function to geometry info class. Make random offsets. Okay. Adds new functions. Mark UI dirty. This guy. New functions. Command button. Okay. Clamp waypoint position. Get helicopter offsets. Adds file local file functions. Clamp to map. That get helicopter offset. Okay, looks like we have looked at all files. Looks pretty safe to me. Split off. Split off of this. Non-exhaustive list of things added to game engine of generals. Edits / changed game engine in generals game engine. Yeah. How about we sort this a little bit? Let me, how can we, your text file, I just use it to sort. Okay, so there we go. Maybe we can remove the leading path here. Non-exhaustive, non-complete list of things that it changed. Maybe we should add stars at the front. There we go. All right. There we go. So what is suspicious to me is this guy here, the scope mutex. Yeah. Let me see that scope mutex. Scope mutex. Okay, so previously it was 500 and now previously it was infinite in generals and then changed to 500 in 0 hour. Why? Where's this use? Here. Miles Audio Manager. Scope mutex. How? Scope mutex with a timeout. Huh? Wait for single object. That is really weird. Scope mutex with a timeout. So it's used in open file and close file. Set max size. With a timeout. That looks really unsafe. Protect the function in case we're trying to use this value elsewhere. Okay, sorry, I was gone for a moment because there's a big thunderstorm right now. Yeah, I wanted to check. It looks very wet outside. Good. Yeah, so I wanted to look at this mutex thingy. This one looks really strange. Really strange. Like, if there's a mutex, why does a mutex have a timeout? Wait for single object, mutex. That's outrageous. This is outrageous. Either it waits or it doesn't. Scope mutex class to easily lock a scope with a pre-existing mutex object. Um, let me open. Scope mutex. Okay, so notepads, scope mutex, scope mutex, generals, wait for single object, infinite. Issues. Bug reports, no. Blank reports, scoped mutex in 0 hour looks dangerous. CPP. Okay, so this is generals, and this is 0 hour. Using a timeout, so 500 milliseconds for a mutex is bonkers. Unclear what the rationale here was, but this looks like a albeit looks like a bug, albeit an unlikely one. So this mutex is called in Miles Audio Manager. the scoped mutex is used exclusively in Miles Audio Manager. Okay, so this is bug. Investigate. Bug. Well, I don't know if it's a bug, but investigate. Investigate. It's 0 hour. 0 hour. Looks dangerous. Has 500. Has timeout of 500 milliseconds. Okay, scope mutex. This is very strange. This is a very strange change. I suggest to revert this change for this particular pull request because it changes behavior. I suggest we revert this change for this particular pull request because it changes behavior. I created a report with that number. For these fixes, warnings after. Unsigned integers are good for representing bit fields and modular arithmetic. Because of historical accident, C++ standard also uses unsigned integers to represent the size of containers. Many members in the standard body believe this to be a mistake, but it is effectively impossible to fix at this point. The fact that unsigned arithmetic doesn't model the behavior of a simple integer but is instead defined by the standard to model modular arithmetic. Wrapping rounds means that a significant class of bugs cannot be diagnosed by the compiler. In other cases, the defined behavior impedes optimization. Mixing is responsible for an equally large class of problems. The best advice we can provide: try to use iterators and containers rather than pointers and sizes. Try not to mix signedness and try to avoid signed types. Try to avoid unsigned types except for representing bit fields or modular arithmetic. Do not use an unsigned type merely to assert that a variable is non-negative. I typically use unsigned for any value, for any type, for integers that are not expected to be negative. Yeah, I think that for me, unsigned is pretty clear. If you have a integer type and you don't never expect it to be negative, then it can be unsigned, and it should be unsigned. It also it then communicates to the reader the exact same thing. Can never be negative. Yeah, the problem is, so when I see a sign type, then I expect, okay, there is a chance that that it's expected to be negative. And if there's an unsigned, I know it's never negative. So for me, unsigned sign types are perfectly fine. They both tell different things. Yeah, they tell different stories. Yeah, and I don't think it makes sense to use a signed integer for a type that is not expected to be negative. Yeah. 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 Thompson's is offline. Probably because of thunderstorms. He says he turns off his computer when there's thunderstorms. I don't know if he lives in a metal bunker that directs the thunder directly into his computer. But yeah, I'm not afraid of power surges. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so my suggestion would be to revert this particular change here. Yeah. Okay, so this one is merged. That's good. Close this one. Yeah, so everything adds stuff here, but not this one. This one changes something. So I'm inclined to, yeah, I'm inclined to revert this one. Scope mutex. Scope mutex. So here, yeah. Then let's take this function. Let's go to this guy. Yeah. Okay, and then we put that back. There we go. Okay, and then we revert the scope mutex change. Yeah. Okay. Scoped mutex is gone now. Okay. I was so free. I took the liberty and reverted this one. The rest looks safe to me. For now. Okay, and then we do it looks good. Let me. Does it touch anything in game logic? Yes, it does. It does. Game logic. Quite a bit. Let me see. Game logic. Okay, it just added a bunch of functions, which should be fair enough. Yeah. Game logic. Okay, it only adds a bunch of garbage. Okay. This change looks pretty safe, but I think it does not hurt to give it a run for some VS6 replace to check for a mismatch. for FU ES6 replace to check for mismatch. Just to make sure. Someone please test for generals mismatch. Generals replay mismatch. Backport game engine editions. Backport several game engine editions from 0 hour. By the way, where is the... Didn't I make an edit here on this one? Where is that? Did I trash it? Well, I still have it here. Let's do it again. Oh, there it is. Okay. So let me cross through this one here then. We reverted this one. Update comments. There we go. Also, edit change notes. Edit, let's say, change notes, edit to the opening posts. It's a bit hard to read this here. Yeah. That's okay, I guess. Okay, cool. Fix loop index comparison warnings. Okay. Good. What's the time? Yeah, 1:44. Okay. Let's take a look at this guy. To do replicate. This PR fixes loop index comparison warnings by matching the data type of the loop index to the comparison values. If you're going to change into an unsigned type, then I think std size t would be more appropriate and in line with standard conventions. Where range loops can be used, then they should be preferred. Where range loops you cannot use it because of VS6. std size t, I think just size t is fine. Don't have to use std size t. It's because size t is std size t or vice versa. Yeah. Yeah. Size t, yeah. So I guess this one is max advice. Huh? Okay. Max advice tips. Max advice tips. Calculate academy advice. Okay. Looks good to me. Looks safe to me. Size T. Size T. Yep. Looks good to me. STLN return size T? Yeah, it does. Oof. So oh wow. This is I wonder if this will call STLN on every iteration. Perhaps compiler is smart. Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ. Size T. Safe. Num tips. Score screen, yeah. We have to be very careful though, right? When smaller, and when there is a minus, then we need to pay special attention, right? Yeah. Current display string. Yeah. Current display string. Why is contains the current display string we are on? Why is this an integer? It's an index. They should have called it current display string index. Yeah. Let me double check the others once more. If there's no minus. looks safe to me. Plus, 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 plus. There I got another one. Another one. But I hope that this produces the same value. I hope this will produce the same same float value below. Well, it should, hopefully. Another STRLN in condition. Tips. Index. Oof. There seems to be fine. Size TI. Locomotor. Unsigned end. Formation index. Divided by 2. Formation spacing. What is formation spacing? It's a real. What? Ignore results. What? Get a few values at random to get rid of the drag. There's no mathematical basis for this, but empirically it helps a lot. What the fuck? Silly. So it will do up to 7 random values and just ignore them, and then it will do the real value. Populate random site and color. What the hell? That's so weird. More random. If def more random. If def more random. Is this defined? This more random. Oh, it is. Oof. 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 So much random. So much random. How? I don't quite understand this here. It would also... Why is this necessary? Because of this here, I guess. I see. Is this cast really necessary? max slots. Oof. What is num connections? Aha. Oof. Oof. Integer. A few lines below is another max slots. I may put that down here. A few lines above is another max slots. Server index. Unsigned int I. Yeah. Depth. Yeah, let me say, looks fairly safe, but I suggest to give it a test for mismatch. For mismatch. Especially in regards, especially with a focus on countermeasures. Use a countermeasures. Let me also say size t is identical to std size t. Size t is good. Yeah. Okay. I should also clarify, does not have to give it a run for a few VS6 replays in generals. Yeah. Okay. Good. Then let me put that here as well in a QA testers. This would be good to test for 0 hour replay mismatch. All right. Good. Then I will take a break here. I hope you enjoyed. I wish you a great day or night. Until next time, goodbye.